Coming to phylum 8 mollusca, all mollusca are soft-bodied animals. It is body is somewhat soft, so it is called as soft-bodied animals. That is the diversified group of animals living in. That is different varieties of animals which lives in marine, freshwater and terrestrial. All forms of lives are seen in this phylum. Either it will be in a land or in freshwater or in a marine. It will be a diversified group that will be distributed throughout the world in different landscapes. Then bilaterally symmetrical, you already know what is meant by bilaterally symmetrical. That is any plane passing through the central axis divides the animal into right and left half. That is called bilaterally symmetrical animal. Then soft body without segmentation. Soft body without segmentation means that is the body is soft, I told you, no. Then segmentation, there is no partition or compartment in the body. Body is somewhat smooth without segment. Then body is divided into, here also the body is divided into head, muscular foot, then visceral mass. That is three important regions in the body, that is head, muscular foot and visceral mass. Here, what is the function of foot? We all know what is the function of our foot for walking, no? Here similarly for this molluscan phylum, foot helps in locomotion, that is movement of animal from one place to another. Then the entire body is covered by a fold of skin. That is, the entire body is covered by a skin. A fold of skin will covers the body. That is called as mantle. This mantle additionally secretes some protective covering, a hard structure that is called as calcareous shell. Okay, which will protect it from the enemies. That is, the body covered by a shell. Below the shell, the mantle is present. Below the mantle, the animal is present. Clear? Then coming to respiration. Respiration is through gills. Here gills act as a respiratory organ. The gills is also called as ctenidia. Gills is also called as ctenidia or lungs or both type of respiration. Why the gills are used? For the water animals, gills act as a respiratory organ, and for the terrestrial animals, lungs act as a respiratory organ, or both act as a respiratory organ. Then what about the sexes? Here also sexes are separated, that is male animal and female animal is present. Then with larval stages, here some of the larval stages are seen. What is meant by larval stages? That is the young one is not exactly look like that of the adult. The young one have a different shape and structure, that is called as larva. This larva develops into an adult. So there are some larval stages noticed in this phylum mollusca. A very good example for this molluscan phylum is garden snail and octopus. Look at this picture. This is the picture of garden snail. On the surface of the snail, that is the entire body is covered by a fold of skin, that is called as mantle. On the surface, it is a fold of skin, that is called mantle. Above the mantle, there will be shell, no? That is called as calcareous shell, which will be secreted by the mantle itself. Look at this picture. It is clear. The the animal, and along with the shell. Phylum 9. Echinodermata. Here all the animals included in this phylum are free living marine animals. It is free living marine animals. They live freely in the marine water. Then triploplastic having 3 germ layers and true coelomate having a true coelom. Then organ system grade of organization. What is meant by organ system grade of organization? That is, it is having a particular organ for doing particular function. Along with that, a system is also supporting the organ, that is called as organ system grade of organization. Then what about the adult animal? Symmetry of the animal. Adult animal radially symmetrical and larval forms here bilaterally symmetrical. Here in this phylum, a peculiar character of this phylum Echinodermata is having 2 types of symmetry, that is as a radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Only the adult animal, that is adult animal having the radial symmetry, that is any plane of axis cuts the body into a similar halves, that is called as radially symmetrical. Then larval form means young ones having a bilaterally symmetrical Why it is bilaterally symmetrical? That is, body during the larval stage, the body at a central axis cut divides the body into right and left half. So, two types of symmetry is noticed in this phylum Echinodermata. Then one of the unique features of this phylum Echinodermata, we seen in the phylum Porifera there is a peculiar system, no, that is a canal system. Here for this phylum Echinodermata, the unique feature is that water vascular system. It is a peculiar character in this phylum Echinodermata. And what is mean by water vascular system? It is a system in which it is like that of the circulatory system, reproductive system, respiratory system, like that. It is a specific system which performing the collection of food and oxygen from the water and elimination of waste through this water vascular system. Then what about locomotion? We already seen in the phylum Mollusca, that is tube feet is act as a locomotory organ. No? Similarly, here in this phylum Echinodermata also, this tube feet act as a locomotory organ. What about the body wall? That is, body wall is covered by a hard calcareous ossicles. It is body wall, that is outer wall is covered by a spiny hard calcareous ossicles. What is meant by spiny? Somewhat sharp and hard. Calcareous ossicle means it is it is made up of calcium. That is, a hard surface made up of calcium covers the entire body. A very good example for this Echinodermata are starfish and sea urchin. I will explain you with the picture. Look at this picture. This is a picture of starfish. It is an example for the phylum Echinodermata. On the surface there is a spiny skinned animal, no? On the surface there are spine like structures. White is there is spine, that is it is sharp and spine like structure on the surface of the animal. It is a free living marine animal. Example for the phylum Echinodermata. Next we are going to see the phylum 10 Hemichordata. Here all are marine organisms with soft, vermiform and unsegmented body. Vermiform means it is worm like animal having unsegmented body. Here the body is also not segmented. Marine animals, lives only in a marine. It is a bilaterally symmetrical animal. You know that bilaterally means that its body is divided into right and left half. Then coelomate, having a true coelom with non-chordate and chordate features. One important characteristic feature of this phylum Hemichordata is that is it is having both non-chordate characters and chordate characters. Both characters will be noticed. What is meant by non-chordate character? Non-chordates means the absence of notochord are included in non-chordates, and chordates means presence of notochord are included in chordates. This phylum Hemichordata exhibit both type of characteristic features. For example, having a gill slit. Gill slit is one of a chordate characteristic features. For respiration, it is having a gill slit. It is one of the characteristic feature of chordata, but do not have notochord. But its absence of notochord is a non-chordate character. Presence of gill slit, it is a chordate character, and do not having a notochord, that is a non-chordate character. Then ciliary feeders. Ciliary feeders means filter feeders. It will feed the that is it will take the food through filtering the water and taking the food. That is called a ciliary feeder. Mostly remains as tuberculous form. Tuberculous form means it will create a bent tube like hole. Inside the hole the worms will be present. That is, it will be loose in a small tube like structure. So, it is called as tuberculous form. For example, Balanoglossus. The Balanoglossus is commonly called as acorn worm. A very good example for the phylum Hemichordata is Balanoglossus. This Balanoglossus particularly lives in the tube. This is Balanoglossus, example for the phylum Hemichordata. Look at this. This is a U-shaped tube, no? That is, this Balanoglossus is a tuberculous form. So, it lives in the tube. Inside the tube, there will be a worm. Walk keenly. The worm is present inside the tube. It will live always inside the tube. So, it is called as tuberculous form. Okay, next we are going to see the phylum 11 chordata. That is chordata, that is animals having a specific characteristic features in this phylum chordata. Up to 10 phylums, they all included in non-chordata. The 11th phylum having all the animals included in this chordata having a notochord, presence of notochord and dorsal nerve cord. Then a pair gill pouches. This slide will explain the important characteristic features of the phylum chordata. Chordate having three important characteristic features. First one, notochord, then second one, nerve cord, then pharyngeal gill slits. Notochord, it is a supporting cord which supports the nervous system. Then nerve cord, it is a spinal cord which run through the back, that is called as spinal cord. Then last one, pharyngeal gill slit, that is pharynx developed during the embryonic development, pharynx develop. These are all three important characteristic features of the phylum chordata. Chordates are triploplastic coelomate animal. Triploplastic means having three germ layer, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. Then a true coelom is present, that is a space between the body wall and the digestive tract, there will be a space. It is a true coelomate animal. Then coming to the phylum chordata, it is again divided into two groups, that is called prochordata and vertebrata. The phylum chordata is subdivided into two groups. First group is the prochordata, second one is the vertebrata, that is prochordata. Coming to prochordata, it is a forerunner of vertebrates. It is a forerunner of vertebrates. That is, vertebrates are developed from the prochordata, that is considered as the forerunner of vertebrates. Based on the nature of notochord, prochordates are again classified into, based on the presence of notochord. Notochord is nothing but a vertebral column. Based on this vertebral column, the prochordata are again classified into two subphylums. First subphylum Urochordata, then second subphylum Cephalochordata. Up to this, today's session will be over. Thank you.